Jacoby, great to meet you. How is it going?
Things are good, man. Just glad to be here in Helsinki to fucking rip another show up.
Yeah.
You know, it's good to be back. We've been here a few times and never played here at the circus, I believe. So now we are here.
Of course, you guys are supporting the latest album, Fear,
Yes.
in which we're going to talk about in a bit. But first of all, let's talk about touring, because when the album came out, you started to tour in the States in January. Then you did some shows in the States. Then you went to Australia, then back to the States, and now you're here in Europe. So how's it been so far?
Lots of touring. Played with a lot of great bands. You know, we did a run in the States, which was awesome. A co-headliner with our friends in a band called Seether. And then we jumped down to Australia, did a Soundwave festival down there. And it was cool, man. Got to know my homies in some of the younger bands. You know, kicked it with Ronnie Radke from Fallen in Reverse. Yeah. Got to know him. You know, some of these young kids of Mice and Men, too. Very good friends of mine now from that tour. You know, I just met them and became good friends. And so there's some young bands. It was cool to go check out new music. And now, what do? We did festivals in America, and then now we're on the festival circuit throughout Europe.
Yeah, doing big festivals here.
Yeah. This is actually one of the only club shows we're doing some in Russia, but as far as Europe goes, just one club show. So the rest of them have been the big old giant festivals, which has been awesome. Shared the stage with Lamb of God and Faith No More the night before last in Belgium at Grass Pop, which was fucking awesome.
Big crowd.
It was massive, and I'm a huge Faith No More fan. I love Lamb of God as well, so it was a great day for heavy metal and rock and roll.
Yeah. I actually was talking to Chad Kroeger of Nickelback quite recently.
Got it.
Yeah, and he mentioned that people often think that being on tour is easy and it's kind of a luxury, but it's not true. So how do you see it from your point of view, how it's been on tour all the time? Because you guys have families and you have kids.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a sacrifice, you know, and I miss a lot of those opportunities to be around my children and my wife, and that's very hard on me, you know. It's the older my kids get, the harder it is for me. And but then it's like, you know, I work hard and then I play hard, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I've been out on tour for 3 months, but then after this tour, I'm going home for almost 2 months.
Yeah.
So then it's like I get to spend that 2 months with my family and write some new music and, you know, be creative and work on my house and, you know, do some art. And so, you know, it's tough, but, you know, it's that dream that I wanted to chase as a young kid, and now I'm living it. And sometimes the dream is a fucking nightmare, but that's all right, you know what I'm saying? Because the nightmare doesn't last forever.
Yeah, and you've been very open about like your past habits and the way you've been living. But now it seems, and you've talked openly about that, you're really happy right now, and you seem to be really happy.
Yeah, man, I'm in a pretty good place in my life. I think I just stopped treating myself like shit, you know? I just abused myself real bad and got really caught up in drinking and drugging and stuff like that. And it just kind of really brought out the worst of me and just put me in a place where I wasn't confident with myself and not happy and just broken and, you know, just being a lying sack of shit, you know. And I don't want to live that way, you know. It's just not, it's not healthy. It's not happy. I can't be the best version of myself when I'm all fucked up, you know. And so, you know, almost 4 years, coming up like 3.5 years ago, I quit drinking and quit doing drugs. And
that's awesome.
You know, yeah, man, it's just like, I have a great time too, man. It's like, and it was hard in the beginning, you know, because everybody else is drinking and I'm like, oh, I want to, you know, but now it's like I can be around the party and have a good time and still have fun and not have to pick that up, you know. And so I'm not a prisoner of that anymore. And so there's a lot more freedom in my life right now. And I can help other dudes that struggle with that shit, you know, because in this business, man, a lot of dudes are walking through that, you know. And some of these dudes, you know, reach their hand like, help, you know. I'm like, I got your back, homie. There's a way out, you know.
Yeah. But of course, those are the stuff you talk about in the new album, Fear. Of course, for example, the song Gravity, which is song in which you are really open about your relationship and stuff like that. So it's hard to be like that open when you're opening up your like really personal stuff to other people. Do you have to like think about it? That do I dare to say this?
No, I think it's very natural. Sometimes in the writing process, I'll go back and go, fuck. maybe I just need to pull it back in just a little bit and not tell every dirty little detail. But then I realized that the more open and vulnerable and honest about my struggles or my brokenness or my frustrations or my weaknesses, that it just makes the music more powerful. And that's what a lot of our fans really connect to and gravitate towards, is the honesty and the brutal honesty in the lyrics and in the music. And I guess that's just what makes us who we are, part of what makes us who we are. And sometimes I look at it, I'm like, fuck, man, I do definitely tell everything, but our music is just a reflection of life. And so I think that that's just kind of the path that I've chosen as a writer.
The crazy thing is actually, when I started to think about it, that the Infest album came out 15 years ago. And I remember when it was released, and where the hell all the years have gone.
Yeah, man.
And of course, that was a big breakthrough for you, because globally it has sold something like 10 million copies. Yeah.
So massive.
Yeah, and it changed your life all around. So what kind of memories you have from that time when you were making your big breakthrough?
It was a fucking great time, dude. You know what I'm saying? We came out with that record and just exploded. And the next thing you know, Papa Roach was like a household name. Yeah. Every kid across the world either knew about us or was about to know about us. And we had music that spoke to a generation. And I think it really just gave us, it kicked open the door, and we started out our career with a song, Last Resort, that is an instant fucking classic. It's one of the biggest songs from that time period of hard rock and metal music. Yeah. And a lot of bands fight their whole career to have a classic. Yeah. And we had one right off the bat, and I'm like, oh my God, how do we follow that up? Like, it's nearly impossible, But in America now, over the course of the last 15 years, we've had over a dozen top 10 rock singles. And so it's been, we've had some hard times since that time, but then some great times, And the thing for us is we just keep progressing as a band, keep pushing forward, but then we also honor the past by playing a lot of that old record still live. We did a show in London. That was the first show in the UK to sell out. And we did Infest in its entirety. We didn't tell the fans. We just showed up. We played the whole record, and the fans were blown away. But the coolest, I think, moment in that night was after we played Infest. We came back and we played Face Everything and Rise and a bunch of our newer songs. And that's when the crowd went really crazy. Okay. So that went to show me, like, all right, cool. Like, people love the history of who we are, but in the UK, we had gained this respect through our new music. And so that really gave me like a sense of hope. Like, there is a future for this fucking band. Because when I look in the front row, there's a lot of young kids, So it's nice to see that.